My wife's best friend pulled her into a secret poly-wives chat. Full story. My wife and I were the last couple anyone expected to talk about open marriage. So imagine how it felt to find out she'd already been trying it out emotionally, because her best friend convinced her that monogamy was outdated, and I was just too insecure to evolve. I'm a 34-year-old guy named Noah Bennett. My wife is 32 and her name is Sophie. We live in Raleigh, North Carolina, have been together for 9 years, married for 4. No kids yet, just a very spoiled golden retriever named Luna, and a small 3-bedroom house in a quiet cul-de-sac. Up until a few months ago, if you asked me to describe our relationship, I would have said solid, sometimes boring, pretty normal. We both work full-time. I'm a civil engineer. She's a graphic designer who works partly from home, partly from a co-working space downtown. We met in a bar in 2016, of all places, at a mutual friend's birthday. I was the guy trying not to look awkward in the corner. She was the girl with the loud laugh and the red lipstick who came over and said, "You look like you'd rather be anywhere else. Want to be miserable together." We clicked immediately. Same dark sense of humor, same love for bad reality TV, same introvert heart but extrovert brain energy. From the beginning, we were very clear about our expectations. Both of us wanted a committed, monogamous relationship. She'd been cheated on in college. I watched my dad blow up our family with an affair. Neither of us had any interest in keeping things casual or exploring options. We even had that deep talk early on. If you ever feel like you want something else, I told her, just tell me. Don't cheat. Don't lie. Just be honest even if it hurts. She said, same. No open relationships, no hall passes. If we're together, we're together. For years, that's exactly how it felt. We got engaged, had a small wedding in Asheville, took a honeymoon road trip, adopted Luna, bought our house. We had our share of arguments about money, chores, and whose family we were visiting for the holidays, but nothing that made me question the foundation. Then her best friend Mia moved back to town. Mia and Sophie have known each other since high school. I'd always thought of Mia as the chaos friend. Fun in small doses, exhausting in large ones. She's one of those people who treats drama like oxygen. When she lived in Chicago, their friendship was mostly FaceTime and memes, which was the perfect distance. In January 2025, Mia broke up with her boyfriend, quit her job, and moved back to Raleigh to reset. She got an apartment 10 minutes from us and started hanging out with Sophie constantly. First, I was happy for my wife. She'd missed Mia. They went to brunch, yoga, wine nights. I'd stay home with Luna and watch basketball. Felt harmless. Then the conversation started to change. Sophie would come home from drinks with Mia and say things like, "It's wild how many different kinds of relationships people have now. Monogamy is kind of a social construct when you think about it. What if our idea of loyalty is just fear dressed up as romance?" The first couple times I laughed it off. I'd say, "Okay, TikTok philosopher." Or "Sure, but I like being boring and loyal." But she kept bringing it up. One night in February, we were in bed scrolling on our phones when she asked, "Do you ever think humans aren't meant to be with one person forever?" I said, "I think humans are capable of messing up a good thing by overthinking it." She didn't laugh. Instead, she said, "Mia says the happiest couples she knows are the ones who are honest about attraction to other people. Like they don't pretend they never notice anyone else." I shrugged. Of course people notice other people. We're not blind. But noticing and acting are different. I notice other women exist. I don't want to date them. She went quiet after that, but I could tell her brain was somewhere I didn't understand. Over the next month, the Mia says comments escalated. Mia says cheating wouldn't happen as much if people could just be open about wanting variety. Mia says monogamy is more about ownership than love. Mia says a lot of men only like monogamy because they're scared their wife might find someone better. Every time I'd push back a little, but I tried not to start a war. Then in March, I noticed Sophie was on her phone more than usual. Late at night, smiling at the screen, typing, deleting, typing again. When I'd ask what was funny, she'd say, "Oh, just the group chat." Or Mia sent this insane TikTok. One Saturday, she left her iPad on the couch while she went to shower. Normally, I don't go through her stuff. I still didn't exactly. But a notification popped up on the lock screen. "Mia, Polywives Club girl, you need to tell Noah before you go any further with this fire." Polywives Club. My stomach clenched. I picked up the iPad and tapped it. It didn't ask for a password, we used the same fingerprint. A Facebook Messenger conversation was open. At the top it said, "Polywives support, secret group chat kiss mark old key." My heart started pounding. I scrolled up a little. Messages from 3 names. Mia, Rachel, Tessa, and my wife Sophie. Mia. Once you kiss someone else, you're going to realize how small Noah's world is. Tessa. Same, my husband flipped at first, but now he loves our open setup. You just have to present it as a growth opportunity. Rachel. Yes, girl, emotional monogamy is a prison. As long as you're honest after it happens, it's still ethical IMO. Sophie. I haven't done anything physical yet. Just flirting. And coffee. And 1 kiss on the cheek. I don't want to hurt Noah. He's a good guy. He just doesn't get it. Mia. He'll never get it if you wait for permission. Men like that only change when they're faced with reality. You deserve to know what else is out there. My vision tunneled. The last messages were from the night before, when Sophie said she was staying late at the studio. Sophie. Okay, I'm freaking out a little. I had a drink with Liam after the co-working meetup. We talked for like 3 hours. Felt so easy. There was definitely chemistry. Mia. Let's go fire. Did you kiss? Sophie. Not really. Just a hug that lingered. But I wanted to. Rachel. That's still safe. You're just exploring. The important thing is to follow where your energy goes. Tessa. Exactly. You're not married to Noah's comfort. You're married to your growth. Mia, the message I saw in the notification. Mia. Girl, you need to tell Noah before you go any further with this fire. Don't let him say he didn't know. Give him the chance to rise to your level like we talked about. I felt like I was going to throw up. I put the iPad down exactly where it was, sat back on the couch and tried to breathe. A minute later, Sophie came out of the bathroom in a towel, humming. Everything okay? She asked when she saw my face. I said, we need to talk. She froze for half a second. About what? About your Polywives support group, I said. And Liam. And how you've apparently been exploring without me. The color drained from her face. You went through my messages, she said. I laughed bitterly. You left them open on the couch. A notification popped up. I didn't go looking, Sophie. It fell in my lap. She sat down slowly, clutching her towel. Okay, she said quietly. I was going to talk to you about this. Mia and I have been talking a lot and I've been rethinking some things. Rethinking monogamy? I asked. She nodded, eyes shiny. I love you, she said. That hasn't changed. But I've been feeling restless. Stuck. Like our life is just work, Netflix, dog walks, repeat. Mia's been helping me unpack it. She introduced me to that group. They're all married women in open relationships. It's not just cheating. It's honest and consensual. Consensual would imply I was told anything, I said. Which I wasn't. She flinched. I haven't done anything serious, she said quickly. Liam is just a guy from my co-working space. We vibe. We had a couple of drinks after work. I told him I'm married. He knows you exist. We haven't slept together. Yet, I said. You haven't slept together yet. She didn't answer. I asked, did you kiss him? She hesitated a beat too long. There was a moment, she said finally. Just once. It wasn't even a real kiss, it was more like our faces were close and I held up my hand. I don't need the details, I said. I need to understand how we got from we're a monogamous couple who survived cheating trauma to my wife is in a secret group chat planning an open marriage with her best friend. She started crying. It's not like that, she said. I've been trying to figure out how to bring it up without you shutting down. Every time I mention non-monogamy, you joke or change the subject. Because I thought we were on the same page, I said. The page we wrote together years ago. If you ever want something else, you tell me before you go chasing it. Mia says, she started. I cut her off. I don't care what Mia says, I snapped. Mia isn't married to me. You are. Mia doesn't get a vote in our vows. We argued for hours. She said she felt boxed in and afraid of wasting her 30s and curious what else is out there. She said she'd never had a wild phase in her 20s, that we got serious too fast. She insisted she still loved me, that her wanting to explore connections didn't mean I wasn't enough. I asked, would you be okay with me dating other women? Hugging them, feeling chemistry, maybe kissing, not really? She hesitated. I don't love that idea, she said. But that's the point. We'd have to work through those feelings together. Mia says jealousy is just insecurity and ego. And what does Noah say? I asked. Noah says he doesn't want other women. Noah says he wants his wife to be loyal. Noah says he didn't sign up for a group project with Mia and a bunch of strangers on Facebook. She kept saying, I was going to tell you, as if that made it better. I went to bed that night feeling like the floor under our marriage had cracked wide open. Over the next week, things got messy. Sophie kept trying to have big theoretical conversations about non-monogamy. She sent me links to podcasts and articles with titles like, Why Open Relationships Are the Future, and Jealousy as a Teacher. She framed it all as relationship growth. I kept repeating the same thing. I'm not interested. I'm not built for that. If you want an open marriage, you don't want this marriage. Mia, of course, poured gasoline on the fire. I know because Sophie, in an attempt at transparency, showed me some of their messages after I demanded to see what Mia was telling her. Mia, he's just scared. Men like him always hide behind loyalty, when really they're afraid you'll realize you can do better. Mia, if he truly loved you, he'd want you to experience everything life has to offer. Mia, don't let his insecurity cage you. You get one life. There were also more messages about Liam. Sophie, he asked if I'd ever consider an open relationship. I panicked and changed the subject. Mia, that's a sign, babe. The universe is literally handing you a soulmate who understands your evolution. Tessa, some people are meant to be primary partners, some are meant to be freedom partners. Maybe Liam is your freedom. Rachel, Noah will either rise to this or he won't. Either way, you'll know. Reading that felt like watching strangers plan my funeral while I was still alive. The breaking point came 2 weeks later on a Friday night in April. Sophie said she was going to a design meetup at her co-working space. I had a weird feeling but tried to be a grown adult and not turn into a paranoid stalker husband. At around 9:30 p.m. she texted, running late, having drinks with the group, love you 2 hearts. 10:15 I opened Instagram to kill time. The app showed me that Mia had just posted a story. Out of habit I tapped it. It was a boomerang video of clinking glasses at a bar. In the background I saw Sophie at a table with Mia and 2 other people. One of them was a guy I recognized from a few of the photos Sophie had shown me from her co-working space. Mia had tagged it, date night but make it ethical smiling face with horns #open relationships #polywives. My chest went cold. I screenshotted it and waited. Sophie came home around midnight, smelling like gin and perfume. She tried to slip quietly into the bedroom, assuming I'd be asleep. I was sitting up, lights on, with her iPad on the nightstand and the screenshot open on my phone. How was the meetup? I asked. She froze in the doorway. It was fine, she said. Long. I'm tired. I held up my phone. Was this before or after the networking? I asked. Her face drained of color. It's not what it looks like, she said automatically. It looks like you're on a double date with Mia and some guy, I said. It looks like Mia is publicly tagging you in open relationship hashtags. It looks like I'm the only one in the dark while everyone else is in on the joke. She started crying again. His name is Liam, she said. Mia invited him. She thought it would be a good way to show you you're overreacting, that we can all be adults about this. By what? Soft launching your open marriage on Instagram, I asked. She wasn't supposed to post that, Sophie said. She went too far. Sorry, I said. Which part is too far for you? The secret group chat? The drinks? The emotional affair? The maybe kiss? The hashtags? Help me out because my bar for too far seems to be very different from yours right now. We had the ugliest fight of our relationship that night. I said things like, you're cheating whether you've had sex or not. And I will not share my wife. And if you want to be single and evolving, just say that. She said things like, you're being closed-minded, and you're choosing fear over love, and you're trying to control me. At one point she said, Mia thinks. I yelled, I don't care what Mia thinks. Mia is not a relationship expert. She's a walking midlife crisis with a nose ring. Not my finest, but I was done being polite. By 2 a.m. I was exhausted. I grabbed a pillow and went to sleep in the guest room. The next morning, I packed a bag and took Luna to my older brother Evan's apartment across town. I texted Sophie from his couch. I need space. I'm staying at Evan's for a few days. You need to decide if you want a husband or an experiment. I will not do an open relationship. That is a hard boundary. If you cross it, we're done. She sent dozens of texts over the next few days. Some apologetic. I'm sorry I got carried away. I shouldn't have let Mia push me so much. Some defensive. You're punishing me for thinking about my needs. Monogamy is not the only way to love someone. Some manipulative. Mia says you're emotionally abusive for making me choose between my growth and our relationship. You're proving exactly what I was afraid of, that you'd rather own me than understand me. I didn't respond to most of them. I focused on walking Luna, talking to Evan, and trying not to scream into a pillow. Evan, for the record, was firmly on team "this is bullshit." He said, there's a difference between both partners exploring non-monogamy together, and one partner secretly trying it out and calling you controlling when you react like a human being. After 3 days, Sophie asked if we could meet in person alone, no Mia. We met at a coffee shop near downtown Raleigh. She looked tired, eyes puffy, hair in a messy bun. I probably didn't look much better. I told Liam I can't see him anymore, she said as soon as we sat down. I left the group chat. I blocked Mia on everything for now. I was so surprised I almost dropped my coffee. What? I asked. She sighed. After you left, Mia came over, she said. We got into it. She kept saying I needed to choose my higher self and not get dragged down by your fear energy. She made it sound like leaving you was the only enlightened option. And I asked, and I realized she doesn't actually care about our marriage or my happiness, Sophie said. She cares about having a partner in chaos. I watched her talk about you like you were some cartoon villain, and I thought, you're not. You're the guy who held my hand when my dad died. You're the guy who worked overtime so we could afford this stupid house. You're boring and safe and loyal, and suddenly that sounded really good. I didn't know whether to be relieved or furious that it took me a going full cult leader for her to see that. I still don't know what I want long term, she continued. I can't pretend I haven't had these thoughts about monogamy, but I know I don't want to lose you. And I definitely don't want my life to look like Mia's. We talked for a long time. I told her again that an open relationship was a hard no for me, that I'd rather be single than spend the next decade wondering who she was connecting with after work. I told her emotional affairs count as cheating, even if there's no sex yet. I told her the secret group chat hurt almost more than Liam did. She cried. I cried. We agreed on a few things. No contact with Liam. At all. No more secret group chats about our marriage. If she wants to talk about non-monogamy again, it has to be in front of a therapist, not Mia. I moved back home a week later. We started couples counseling with a therapist who specializes in infidelity and non-monogamy. Not because we're opening the marriage, but because we needed someone neutral who understood the language Sophie had been sucked into. Therapy has been brutal but clarifying. We've unpacked why Sophie was so drawn to Mia's worldview, why she was willing to risk everything for freedom, and why I react so strongly to any hint of cheating. My dad's affair is still a raw wound. Her college boyfriend cheating on her is still a raw wound. We basically recreated our old trauma in a new shape. Right now, things between us are fragile but better. She's been honest about her lingering curiosity about other people, which frankly I think most humans have but don't put in a group chat. I've been honest about the fact that if she ever crosses that line again, I will not stick around for the sequel. I still don't fully trust her. Every time she says she's grabbing drinks with coworkers, a part of me flinches. Every time I see her on her phone late at night, my brain whispers, what if there's another chat? Another Liam? We're working on it slowly. As for Mia, she sent me one long unhinged email about how I'm afraid of feminine power and clinging to patriarchal ownership models. I didn't respond. Sophie hasn't spoken to her since that night. Last I heard, Mia moved again, this time to Austin, Texas, to find her people. So here I am. My wife's best friend pulled her into a secret poly wives chat, encouraged her to emotionally cheat with a coworker named Liam, and almost convinced her that blowing up our marriage was a spiritual awakening. I found out from a notification and an Instagram story hashtag. Now we're in therapy, trying to rebuild something that feels both familiar and completely different. What would you do in my place? Would you keep working on this marriage and try to rebuild trust? Or would the secret group chat and almost open relationship be a deal breaker for you? Let me know what you think in the comments. I read them all. And if you like stories like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Reddit Story Vault for more Reddit drama, relationship chaos, and full stories just like this one.